Hello, everyone. It's Catherine Maley, author of Your Aesthetic Practice and president of Cosmetic Image Marketing, where we get you more procedures guaranteed. And I've decided to call myself the Cosmetic Patient Marketing Specialist because that's frankly what I do. So I thought I would just go ahead and put a title on it. And we're going to get started now. And if you've got any questions as I go along, please type them into the question box to the right of your screen. And if I haven't answered them already, I will answer them at the end. Okay? So, welcome and Happy New Year. 2016 is going to be a fantastic year. So let's jump in. On this online training, let me get it rolling here. This is what you're going to get out of this. This is for you if you're tired of figuring out what to do to bring in more revenues, if you're sick of the revenue roller coaster and worried about covering your overhead, if you're frustrated with so much to do and not enough time to do it, and if you need a plan that gives you more time, more money, and more certainty, then this is for you. So in this New Year, New Plan presentation, you're going to discover how to generate more consistent revenues you can count on month after month, increase the lifetime value of your current cosmetic patients, then get them to return more often and spend more at each visit, and then, of course, generate more referrals using the more organic approach. And you'll see how to make it a system you can measure and count on for consistent revenues. Because imagine this. Imagine having a solid plan in place, knowing it's humming along and you don't have to worry about it. You know you're bringing in revenues because your promotions are on autopilot. That gives you the mental freedom from constantly worrying about your practice's financial stability, doesn't it? And can you imagine enjoying a predictable, systematic revenue stream? This puts you in a position of confidence and power because you know money is coming in. Then you have freedom because you eliminate the scramble mode during your down months that create worry and angst. And you get the unfair advantage over your competitors because the most successful practices do the things that unsuccessful practices won't do. But I do need to warn you about a few things. Here's warning number one. There could be some bad thinking ahead because your first reaction could be, oh, this won't work for me. But I assure you, your practice is not different when it comes to the fundamentals of running a successful seven-figure practice. It's the mindset that is different that's keeping you from all the success you deserve. Because successful surgeons say, how can I apply this? Or how can I do that? Whereas the lazy or the naive ones say, I can't do that. Now here's warning number two. If you miss what I'm saying here and you tune out my suggestions, the next 12 months will be the same as the last 12 months, or even worse, because you're either growing or failing. Now, I love anything Dr. Howard Schultz says from Starbucks. This is what he said. When companies, and you can put the word practice in there as well, when practices fail or fail to grow, it's almost always because they don't invest in the people, the systems, and the processes they need. Boy, I've learned that myself. And then here's warning number three. What I show you today is not sexy. So if you want shiny object stuff, then you should not be here because this is not going to be sexy, shiny stuff, but it works. So if you want results that are solid and proven, then I'll show you exactly how to do that for yourself, or you can get help with it. So let's quickly go over the 4 reasons for cosmetic practice failure. And by the way, I identified these after working with cosmetic surgery practices for over 16 years. Boy, has that flown by. So here's practice failure number 1. You're not developing enough of a relationship with your current patients. Now that includes not staying in touch in a way that compels them to contact you. Now this leads your patients to believe you don't care about them, so they wander off to your competitors. And yes, I'm talking about your current patients because in a nutshell, they're easier, cheaper, and more trusting of you. They're much more likely to respond to you, and they're easier to convert because you already have credibility with them. Now, we all know a successful cosmetic practice gets a majority of their new patients from their current patients through word of mouth referrals, right? As a matter of fact, I did a survey of the top cosmetic surgery practices in the US, and on average, 45% of their new patients were coming from word of mouth referrals, and another 30% were current patients returning for more. So it's well worth it to you to focus on that. So here's practice failure number 2. You have no real differentiation in the marketplace. You seem like everyone else in this extremely crowded industry. So I'll show you how to stand out and do it in a more fun way. Now here's practice failure number 3. The failure to give your current patients a compelling reason to return and refer. Now, I'm talking about irresistible offers your patients can't say no to. This gets them off the couch and into your office to spend more money with you rather than continue to procrastinate. And then lastly, here's practice failure number 4. Inability to nail down a profitable marketing plan with proven revenue streams to keep a steady stream of patients coming to you. Now, you may think you have this, but you probably don't. You're doing one or two things, but that's not enough. You need to do the right things more consistently, and I'll show you how. Because this fixes everything when it comes to cosmetic patient marketing. By the way, I'm going to lay out exactly what you can do on your own, so take a lot of notes. Or if you decide to get the help and support you need, I'll offer our services to you, so you choose. But even if you decide to go it alone, you'll have the knowledge from this training to do it yourself. Okay, so here we go. Here's the new year, new plan, new patients in 2016, proven to get you results, and you can implement them right away. So let's start with your practice promotion calendar. Your calendar tells you what goes out and when it goes, and that gives you clarity and consistency. Because a well-planned out calendar gives you predictable, systematic revenues. It puts you in a position of confidence and power because you know money's coming in month after month, and so are the patients. It also gives you freedom and flexibility. So by having this in place, it gives you freedom because you add to this or change it up, but it eliminates the scramble mode of starting over every month. And that's what creates the worry and frustration for you. Now, you also get the unfair advantage over your competitors because successful practices do the things that unsuccessful practices won't do or can't do. And that's what makes them successful. They do it anyway. So if you want to be top of mind with your patients and make your competition irrelevant, you need a marketing calendar because I almost guarantee 90% of your competitors have not bothered doing this. Now, what goes on the calendar? Well, here are my proven personal top 4 patient revenue attracting strategies, and they include direct mail, email, social media banners, and word of mouth referral cards. Now, we'll go over all of them in detail in just a moment. Now, of course, you still need other strategies to attract additional new patients, but once you do that, you'll want to make sure that you're not neglecting those patients you spent so much money on to get in the first place. You want to be sure to keep in touch in a compelling way so they become raving fans who return and refer. And don't worry, this may seem like a lot, and it is, but I'll show you how to get it done without using your own time. So, the next step, you want to assign dates. So put everything on the calendar and plan it out ahead of time. Now, the beauty of this is you'll know, for example, in April that you'll use the Get Your Body Ready for Summer theme promotion. And you need to list the dates that things need to be done, and so you stay on schedule. Basically, your calendar becomes your playbook, so your team is clear about the plan. Now, this may seem complicated and it can be time consuming, but once it's done, it's done. I will tell you, I do this for my own company and I do it for the whole year. And yes, it's time consuming, but talk about the relief you have knowing everything is planned and ready to go. Boy, you'll sleep better at night, that's for sure. Next, you need to assign ownership to ensure everyone knows who does what and when they do it. and someone needs to be in charge of the entire calendar. Now, they're not doing everything, but they're overseeing it to be sure everything gets implemented, because a good idea doesn't count unless it's executed well and it's executed on time. Now, we'll go over each component involved. Just remember, it's not sexy, but it's money, and it brings you freedom and peace of mind. So frankly, I think that sounds pretty darn sexy. Now, they are the fundamentals. A new fundamental is not new. They must be proven. Master this first, and then play around with extra internet ninja shiny object stuff. This you don't have to worry about. So let's start with direct mail, as in greeting cards. Themed, eye-catching, and heartfelt greeting cards with a great offer to call you now is the first strategy. Now, themed means you're reaching out for a reason, namely a strategic time of year the cosmetic patient is most likely to respond. For example, personalized birthday cards, hand addressed and stamped, are sent to your current patients who already know, like, and trust you. And a looming birthday is already a conversation your cosmetic patient is having in their mind, especially your patients who care about how they look and feel. You know that because they've already given you money for cosmetic services, and they'll give you more as the aging process accelerates. Now, another direct mail theme that works really well is thank you for your trust message to encourage your cosmetic patients to return and refer their friends. Now, this theme accelerates their visits to you as well as their new patient word-of-mouth referrals. Now, don't you think you could get 1 or 2 extra surgeries and popular minimally invasive procedures every month just doing this? I mean, what would that be worth to you? Another 5,000, 10,000, 20,000? And direct mail is just the first piece of the puzzle. For a cash surge, here's another proven strategy direct mail idea that works. What do you do now when patients come in for a consultation but they don't book? Or how do you get long lost profitable patients to return for surgery? Or for anything for that matter. You send them heartfelt and compelling messages such as, it's our anniversary or we miss you. Now, when done correctly, this gets them off the fence and back into your office for a consultation to a paid procedure. And here are some results to expect. Here's what Dr. Blair said. I just want to let you know how successful your promotion was and how delighted my office and myself were with the outcome. We saw over 22,000 in increased business with the promotion. The patients were excited about the offers, and of course, we were extremely satisfied with the results. Thank you again for your creativity and personalized support. My office and I can't wait until your next revenue generating idea. Here's another one. Here's what Dr. Funzik said. Catherine put together a classy snail mail with metrics that brought in 67 calls, 56 injections, and several surgeries for a total gross of $72,000. That is a 2,880% return on our investment. Not bad, huh? Now, the secret to successfully using direct mail is number 1, the list you send it to. And then number 2, what you include in the message. So you really need to understand the cosmetic patient and their needs and wants to ensure a great result, or a great response too. For example, here's the checklist to use to make sure any communication you send out gets your phone to ring and makes you money. It starts with a subject line or a headline to help get it acknowledged or looked at, a compelling copy to get it read, the theme for the month to keep it interesting, great before and after photos that are vital for social proof, and a picture really is worth 1,000 words. And then compelling gift card offers. Now, the key is to create killer offers your patients love and respond to. Because when you market this internal way, you don't have to spend massive amounts of dollars on glitzy mass advertising to attract stranger patients who don't know you from Adam. Instead, you're passing on the savings to your current patients who already know how great you are, so this doesn't hurt your image. You also want a tight expiration date so they act now rather than procrastinate. Credentialing you, the physician, as the best choice. And then links to landing pages to your website so they can learn more and have another opportunity to contact you. And then terms and conditions such as minimums to ensure you stay profitable. So the next cosmetic patient marketing strategy is email. You'll want to create a themed email for each month, such as New Year, New You, Get Your Body Back, Turn Back the Clock, and so on. Now, you'll also want to follow up your greeting cards with an email for repetition, since busy patients need gentle reminders. So let me ask you, if you did this, do you believe you would get at least 3 or more procedures a month? I mean, what's that worth to you? Because obviously it's worth something. So you really need to do it. If you don't want to do it though, you should outsource it because somebody, somebody should be doing this for you. Now, the next cosmetic patient marketing strategy are social media banners. Now, social media is a good follow-up component to direct mail and email because you're trying to reach your current patients wherever they are, as well as prospective new patients who are not familiar with you yet. So, to help your emails grow legs and reach more patients and prospective patients, you want to repurpose your content. Now, you do that by designing banners that match the greeting cards and emails and then shoot them out on social media and then mention them on your blog and put them on your website. So it's a consistent message across the board that'll reach more current patients as well as new patients. Now, the last component to your 2016 New Year New plan is word of mouth referral cards because your patients would refer more often if they were reminded and if it were made easy for them to do so. Do something to generate new patients every week and make it easy so you're not hoping referrals come in. They just come in automatically because they're part of your plan. So not only are you asking for referrals in the direct mail and the email messages, you also have a display of customized pocket referral cards. Now they're displayed at your checkout so your patients can put a few in their wallet. Or your staff can hand them out to the patient along with their receipt for the day. And you give a stack to each of the staff members so they have them readily available when they're out with their friends or they're at their gym or at the hair salon. Now, it's an easy way to get your name out into the community of prospective cosmetic patients. Also, since they're easy to keep in your patients' wallets, your patients will hand them out more often. And the beauty of these pocket referral cards is that they have a paper trail to help you track new patient referrals. So you can thank your patients for their support because behavior that is rewarded is repeated. So again, let me ask you, if you do just these monthly greeting cards, the monthly themed emails, the Cast Surge direct mailings, social media banners, and word of mouth referral cards, do you think it'll bring you more revenues? I sure hope you're saying yes, because we reviewed our results from our other cosmetic practices through the US who have us do this for them. And we did all the stats from last year, from 2015, and we learned they got a return of between 283,000 up to 408,000 per year from this service. That's pretty good, right? So do you see how the fundamentals done right can be sexy when you get results? So please do it. It works. Having a cosmetic patient marketing system in place in your practice changes everything because now you have clarity and peace of mind knowing you have a deliberate patient attraction plan in place working for you every single month of the year. That can change a cosmetic practice from struggling to soaring. And there you have it, a simple plan to market your cosmetic practice by nurturing your current patients who know, like, and trust you so they gladly return and refer their friends. Now, this has always been and will always be the secret to successfully growing a cosmetic practice fast. Now that you know this, you have two choices. You can do it yourself, which is the trial and error method. So you can take everything I just showed you and you can do it on your own and you can run with it. But the problem is it's wicked expensive and time consuming to do it that way, and it could take you months to figure it out. Because what happens is you need to guess and test what works, so the odds of you writing good copy and designing great pieces are not that great, and then you'll get frustrated. But you can't blame yourself because you can't know everything. You know surgery and cosmetic rejuvenation. So the second way is to get it done for you. Easy breezy. And that's where I come in. You could have me and my team do it for you using our cosmetic patient marketing service for 2016. We'll reactivate your current patients so they return and refer. We write the compelling copy. We design the pieces. We address, print, fold, stuff, stamp, and mail the greeting cards. We use Constant Contact, ours or yours if you already have one, to send out the emails. We design the social media banners. We design and print the word of mouth referral cards. Now, I want to be super transparent here because this service is not for you if you don't have a patient list of at least 1,500, you can't access your patient lists in a computer, if you don't have before and after photos to use as social proof, or if you have bad phones that make it extra difficult for patients to get a hold of you. This is not the right fit for either of us because these current patients want to return and have a really good experience with you. So this is more fun marketing. So we need that criteria. So why did I create this? Because I was so frustrated because I know what I teach works for the right practices and I want to make a bigger impact on practices, but I keep hearing this and that doesn't work. And strategy and action is what changes your practice revenues. But you're busy and you have families and time pressures. That's why I'm handing this to you on a silver platter. You don't need more information or shiny objects. You need implementation of a plan working for you to keep you busy. Now, the proven and guaranteed cosmetic patient marketing service done for you for 2016 includes all of this. You get a marketing calendar done for you, already filled out, so you know at a glance what's going out and when it's going. You get up to 250 birthday greeting cards every month, depending on the size of your patient database. You get up to 250 return and refer greeting cards every month. You get monthly themed emails to your entire email list. I'm sorry. You also get this other 200, you get up to 250 of this direct mail strategy, and it's focused on surgery. And it's sent to strategic patients most inclined to want surgery and those who came in for a consult but didn't book. This piece has been fantastic, by the way. Okay, then you get the monthly themed emails to your entire email list, and these are proven, tested to work, and customized with your look and feel. And then you get the social media banners repeating the themes to spread the word to attract new prospective patients. And then, of course, the pocket referral cards. And those, plus you get the display, and those are customized with your look and feel to get your name circulating for even more new patients. Now, you also get monthly progress reports. Now, we've optimized our proven tracking system and we provide you with killer monthly progress reports with specific data that gives you a one-page summary telling you exactly how well your promotions are doing. Now, we do that with tracking numbers, so we can track your calls and know for a fact how well the pieces are working, and we present you with our numbers each month so you know you're getting a good ROI. And here's what Dr. Langdon said. Working with Catherine and her team has been very profitable. We're only halfway through the year and I'm up 200 grand and I'm booked out for the next 2 months, even though we typically go into our slow summer months now. Her recent promotion brought in an extra $63,782 with more surgery scheduled. I never realized how much money was sitting in my patient list, but I'm a believer now. Isn't that the truth? Now, my team and I will get your phones to ring with preferred patients and new patients eager to see you. However, your staff has got to be on their game to see it through. So you must have the skills to convert the callers to appointments and the consultations to paid procedures. Because in 7 out of 10 practices, the receptionist and or the patient coordinator drop the ball. But again, it's not their fault. They just haven't had any formal training until now. So with our plan or our service, you get 6 free online group trainings. I charge other practices up to $597 per training to attend, but you get it for free. Now, the topics include things like how to turn your phone calls into profits, how to comfortably convert consultations without being pushy, and how to follow up after the consultation. Now, this value is $3,382, and you'll also get the free replays on DVD as well as the scripts. So you have these tools to refer to during your team meetings and when new staff joins you. Now, here's what Dr. Asasa said about the training. Catherine Maley turned our practice around. We attended her How to Convert More Consultations webinar and implemented her system the following week. We converted more consultations in that week than we did the entire month. Our practice went from a painful 50% no-show rate to a remarkable 85% show-up rate. Even more impressive was our closing ratio from 35% to 80% and still increasing. We would recommend her to any practice that's looking to not only increase their profits today, but sustain a healthy flow of income for many years to come. Thanks, Catherine. You're welcome. So you also get free access to the online members-only club called Aesthetic Profits Association. It's full of practice attraction and additional staff training tools, techniques, resources, and ready-to-go templates that you'll have at your disposal for as long as you're with us. Now that's another value of over $4,700. So to reiterate what you get in this cosmetic patient marketing service, you get the marketing calendar, 250 birthday greeting cards every month, plus the follow-up email. You get the 250 return referred greeting cards every month, plus the follow-up email. You get 250 of those direct mail surgical strategy pieces. You get monthly themed emails to your entire email list. You get the social media banners. You get the pocket referral cards plus the display. You get the 6 online staff trainings, as well as the free access to Aesthetic Profits Association. So, what is this worth? Well, let's talk about, how much is it? Well, if you were to do this on your own, you would need to hire a graphic designer. They usually run somewhere from $30 to $100 an hour, but they probably don't understand our industry. So they would need to learn on your dime. And then you would need to buy the copyright protected high resolution images used in the designs, and those can cost up to $300 a piece, or you risk being sued thousands of dollars. And the reason I throw this in is so many of you, like maybe you have your staff doing things, but they're not clear about the little nuances of marketing. And you can't, if you notice some of the images I'm showing here, have you noticed there's like a watermark on them? That's because I didn't buy them. If I were to use those in my real pieces in the real world, I could get sued for that. I know quite a few practices who have been sued tens of thousands of dollars because they were not paying for the images that they were using in their marketing, and that's really bad. But you'd also have to hire a marketer or someone who knows the psychology of the aesthetic patients and knows how to write direct response copy, so that gets a result. Then you'd have to have somebody manage your printer vendor to be sure they do a good quality job and they print on quality paper stock to keep up with your quality image. I have to tell you, you have to be really careful who you work with because some of these printers use crappy quality. It looks awful. They do a poor job. If you use the wrong one, they'll switch things around. I mean, they can be a nightmare if you don't know who to work with. But then you also need somebody to manage the mail house to be sure the greeting cards look personally handwritten and hand stamped with first class postage, and it's not pre-stamped bulk images. They've got to look personal, and you have to make sure they go out on time because this kind of marketing must stay on time because it's very driven to the season or to the time of the year. So mail houses are the same thing. You better know who you're working with because, boy, things can go horribly wrong. Now that could take, 2 or 3 staff people to get this done. And on top of that, you would need to manage all these people to make sure everyone is doing their part and they're being held accountable and getting these projects out on time every single month since timing is so crucial. So you could do that, or you could let me do it for you for only $29.97 a month. And by the way, there are no long-term contracts. It's month to month, so there's no risk. And since you're on this live webinar with me, I'd like to reward you for taking action now. So if you say yes right now, I'm going to waive the customization and the implementation fee of $14.97. Now this offer is good on this webinar, and then after that, I'm going to put it back into place. So go now to cosmeticpatientmarketing.com so we can get started on your very own customized cosmetic patient marketing service. And there's even more. I'm so sure about the results we get for other cosmetic practices, I stand behind this with a personal guarantee. If you don't at least double your investment within the first 90 days, I'll give you a full refund and we can part ways. This is not theory. This is proven in real life. So I want you to go to Cosmetic Patient Marketing so we can get started on your very own customized cosmetic patient marketing service. And there's even more. You'll also get the Cosmetic Patient Marketing monthly newsletters that I personally write, and they're full of tips, strategies, and resources, along with feedback forms and the opportunity to set up strategy calls with me if you need additional consulting. And then we even add cartoons, which are really cute. Plus, you get the Cosmetic Patient Marketing 2016 binder to keep everything in one place. So it's going to hold the calendar, the tracking forms. We'll collect you can collect the promotions, the progress reports, your newsletters, your training materials. And I really like this because we do all the tracking for you. However, we also like you to track too, because what we find in today's crazy world with all this technology, sometimes, actually quite a bit, they'll get our marketing pieces. However, they've got your phone number stored in their cell phone, or this prompts them to go to your website, so they call your website phone number. So oftentimes they bypass our tracking number. So our numbers that we show are typically half of the real numbers you get. So those results that I showed you, I almost guarantee that is half of the result you're getting, because I only count what I can track, and the rest is just gravy. So I do want to give you a warning here. If you decide not to move forward with my plan, what's going to happen this year? You're going to continue the frustration of figuring this out on your own, or you're going to continue spending and not knowing your return on investment. And you're going to watch your competitors take patients from you because you're ignoring them. So please do yourself a favor. Let me implement this proven cosmetic patient marketing plan for you. It's guaranteed to get your results, so you have nothing to lose. Please go over there to Cosmetic Patient Marketing, and I'm going to go ahead and take questions now. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them into the question box to the right of our screen. And I will head over there right now to take a look. Let's see. I know that his studies have showed the chances here. Okay. In essence, they're saying my favorite patients come back to me anyway, so why would I give them a discount? I'll just be throwing money away. Okay. I hear you. I've heard that several times, and that's only because you're not a believer yet. This is what I know for a fact to be true. You're assuming that those patients are loyal to you forever and they're coming back with absolutely you doing nothing for them. I am that patient too, and I know an awful lot of other patients. When a patient starts feeling like they're taken for granted, or they're not appreciated, they will wander off, or that opens the door for them to go elsewhere where somebody else is paying more attention to them. I mean, frankly, it's just like dating, if you have a boyfriend and he's been ignoring you, it opens the door for that other guy to come in and nab you. So same thing with the patients. You cannot assume anything in today's crowded world. Too many times. I mean, think about it. Think about the patients that you absolutely love, and how many times have you said to yourself, "Hey, whatever happened to Kelly? I love her. Whatever happened to her?" And you kind of look around at each other. Haven't seen her in a long time. You don't even realize who's left you unless you stop and think about it, or if you go through your schedule and look at some of the top patients you had that you no longer have. I just don't think you can rest your laurels on that. It's too competitive in today's world. Somebody else is saying, I don't want to look like a discounter. Okay, I hear you on this one, and I understand what you're saying. I really do. Here's the thing about marketing. You can either wait for a patient to organically show up, remember you out of the blue. Hopefully they go to you, not of 400 billion other choices they have. But In today's world, what you're trying to do is take a cosmetic patient that already knows, likes, and trusts you to come back again and give you more money, because it's not something they're dying to do. Go look for somebody else. I mean, if they had a really good experience with you and they really liked you and they had a good result, well, they don't want to shop around if they don't have to. They would much rather. I mean, people today are pretty busy. They're not dying to shop all over the place to save a buck. And if they are, those are not the kind of patients you want anyway. What you want is a really great cosmetic patient who's already pre-framed to say yes to you. And that's the patient who's already given you money. And you're rewarding them for their loyalty. So you're not going to look like a discounter because you're not putting this on billboards or in magazines or screaming it from the rooftops. You're only giving special gifts to the patients in your inner circle. And those are the ones in your email list and your direct mail list. I'm telling you, they will appreciate that as a gift rather than here's the blue light special. It's not like that. You're thanking your patients for returning, and then of course we're referring their friends. There's something else I was going to say about that. If you think about it, you're actually passing along the savings of not going the other route. And that really is this deal about mass advertising. I have watched so many practices spend, gosh, 5, 10, 50 grand a month on silly stuff, like TV, radio. I don't know. In today's world, I just think that's such a long shot. And what I think happens is, number one, it costs a fortune. Number two, you don't have staff that knows how to convert. So a lot of times these calls are just really weak calls anyway, unless you've got killer staff who knows how to convert them. A lot of them never show up. It was just this impulse thing they saw on the TV or they heard on the radio and said, oh yeah, I'll do that. And then they don't know you, so they never show up. It's just a tough way to play this game, because isn't it exhausting to put forth a lot of effort and not get a result from it? This kind of feel-good marketing is so great because the results are so great. You do something, you get a result. The patients are calling because they want to schedule. They're not calling because they're asking you their first question about who are you. They're calling because they know you, they like you, you gave them a compelling reason to call and a tight expiration date, and they're ready to say yes. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. I just hope you agree with me on that. Somebody's saying we already send emails to our patients and that's enough. And I said, well, you know what? All I can say is I would test that. You have a false sense of security when you think you're reaching your patients by email. Do you realize the average open rate of email has dwindled down to 19.9%? Do you realize that means there's 80% of your patients who are not even seeing your emails? So as much as you think you're talking to them, you're not. And so it doesn't count, Marketing only counts when it gets to the right target who's most likely to respond in a timely manner and using compelling copy that they're going to respond to. Because what you're trying to do in essence is accelerate the cosmetic patient's life cycle. Think about it. If you're a cosmetic patient and you're aging every day, and trust me, I'm personally doing this for myself. That's why I'm in this business. I am that aging cosmetic patient who has money, but who's busy, who needs convenience. And every day you're looking in the mirror going, oh boy, now what's happening here? Now where'd that line come from? And you are accelerating them from going to, oh, I should probably do something about that someday, and getting busy and not doing it or procrastinating, to, whoa, boy, they must have heard me because I just got an email or I got a direct mail piece about that. You know what? I'm going to give them a call. It is time for me to take a look at that. I really, really believe in this because I've tested it for years and I know it's true. I'm getting a question about HIPAA, and we're completely HIPAA compliant. I don't want your medical records. I just want an Excel file of very little pieces of information. So that is not an issue. And of course, though, if you did do some direct mail and somebody said, I'd rather not get it, we just take them off the list. That's no big deal. Let's see. Another question is, are the emails mobile friendly? Oh, of course. I'll tell you what, our data shows that more than half of your patients are opening their emails on their cell phone now. So we, of course, designed the emails to be mobile friendly. Somebody else is saying, I only do like invasive procedures. So would this still work for me? Absolutely. I just, frankly, what's really getting to be tough? The surgeons who love surgery as they should, it's getting tougher, isn't it? Because these patients have been told, educated, pounced on that, oh, you don't need surgery. You can just have a laser procedure or a filler will take care of that. That's getting tough, isn't it? So the good news is there some of these non-surgical procedures are actually kind of pricey. Like think like the Kybella, the new Kybella. That's a non-surgical, but do you realize it takes, well, of course you do. It takes multiple treatments. That can already add up to $4,000 to $6,000. Or CoolSculpting, I mean, you can easily do one area and then need, 4 other areas, and that adds up too. So sure, this works for anybody. It's just the numbers can be a lot bigger when you have some nice big ticket items in there. But sure, it works for anybody. Okay. French speaking. Oh dear. I'm sorry, Pierre. We don't have his patient base is French speaking. I have to tell you, I would love to speak French, but I do not. We did actually start doing some things in Spanish, but I have to tell you, it was a distraction. I'm just better off sticking to the U.S. and English. So I'm sorry, it's just English based. Let's see. Okay, so with respect to a loyalty program, are most practices offering a discount or reward to both the referring patient and the new patient, or just the referring patient? Well, I'm going to give you the PC answer is in our industry and in the medical bylaws or from the medical associations, it is stated that you never entice a patient to have another patient do a surgical or do a medical procedure, right? But then there's the real world. And the real world is patients love to be appreciated for being your loyal ambassador. And there's a nice way to do this and a friendly, compelling, easy way to do this. And frankly, some of you are tied back by your medical associations who are staying with old school. You will never thank anybody for a referral. Let's put it this way. If you are going to have a loyalty or referral program, you better figure something out there. You have to, people want to be appreciated for helping you grow your practice. So I don't know how you're going to do that if you don't give them a reason why. You can wait for them to organically refer you, but I'll tell you, in today's world, everything is so exaggerated and so now that in the old days, do you know, in the old days, it took 10 years to grow a practice organically. You don't have 10 years anymore. You have, 10 months, 10 weeks. It's getting crazy. So all of this is about accelerating everything. And so realistically, I personally think that you should have an appreciation tool of some sort for both, for the person who referred as well as the referred person, the new patient. I just think you should. I don't think you should hand them cash per se. I would give them gift cards towards their next procedure. Don't be blatant about it, but certainly think about yourself. Think about when you refer somebody to something. Don't you want that to be thanked for it? And a thank you can be a simple handwritten note. It can be a phone call directly from the doctor to the referring patient. It can be a little gift card. It can be a little extra Botox at their next visit. Think about what you're comfortable with. But I just know people and humans like to be appreciated. That's why, husbands do a lot more housework or things around the house when they're thanked for it. Isn't that right? Aren't we all? So do what you're comfortable with. The person we're not doing any individual rather they were never few recent patients. Wow, this is a very long question. I am so sorry. You know what? The initials LB, if you are catching who that is, I'm going to have to give you a call. Let me give you a call tomorrow and we can talk, because that's a really long question and it's got a lot of components to it. So I wouldn't be able to do justice here. Plus, it wouldn't help everyone because I want to keep it a little more general here. Another question was, how many referral cards do we get? Well, you start out with 250, and we would love to send you more, because that means if you're sending them out, that means they're coming back too. It's kind of like a little boomerang thing. So that means you're actually using and implementing our strategies, and that actually helps both of us. So we're happy to keep replenishing that throughout the year. It sounds like we would be pummeling our patients. It's funny you should say that. If you look at it that way, it looks like that. But if you look at it from the patient's point of view, think about the cosmetic patient. They're going to hear from you in their mailbox 3 times a year. One of them's going to be their birthday. One of them's going to be their thank you for your trust. So they return and refer. They get that 6 months later. And then one more time in the year, they get a special strategy card to see if they're interested in a bigger ticket item or surgery. So that's just 3 times a year, but it's 3 times that you're going to stay top of mind for them, where they might not go away because you're staying in touch. Then once a month, they're going to get an email from you, right? And then when they visit your office, they're going to pick up some of the referral cards. And then when they're looking at their Facebook account, they're going to see your banners on there. I mean, that from a patient's point of view is absolutely the perfect ratio. You're not pummeling them from the patient's point of view, just from your point of view, because I put it all together here. It looks like a lot, but it really works beautifully for them. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Well, somebody's saying that they have fewer patients. You know what we should do? We'll talk about that, because you need some patience here to make this work. Let me say it this way. If you have less than 1,500, you should do this on your own for now. And then when you build it up, then outsource it to me. Because if you only have that many patients, you're probably not busy enough yet. I want to work with those practices who have been around for a long time. They have a killer database, but they've been ignoring them. And they don't realize all the gold that's sitting there and how many patients would gladly come back if they were just offered to, or invited back. There's a question about, will the patients get mad if we send them mail? Well, if you notice, that's why we spend a fortune on these mailings. If you notice, we make them look like personal greeting cards. I mean, these are gorgeous colored envelopes. They're handwritten. They have a stamp on them, so they're very private. We don't put a return address on there. It's as private as it can be, and they get opened because the patients are like, oh my God, I got real mail for a change, like fun personal mail, not a bill or a catalog. So it works really well. Okay, with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I hope this was helpful to you. Please let us do it for you, or please do this yourself. Give it a try. If you don't want to put the money in and you think you're going to pull this off on your own, it's going to cost you a lot more than $3,000 a month, though, in time and hassle and mistakes. But give it a try and then give me a call, or save yourself a whole bunch of trouble and then just give me a call now and just go for it. The $14.97 implementation fee is free. So please go there now, cosmeticpatientmarketing.com, because I am going to add that back in tomorrow, because it takes us a lot of work to do this. We have to do a lot of work on your end. I'm telling you, in today's world, marketing takes some work. It always has, but everyone used to say, oh, it's no big deal. Well, it actually is a big deal. So you either do it yourself, or you get your staff to do it, or they're going to hate you if they don't know how to do that, or let me do it for you. You really have nothing to lose. So I hope that helps, and I will talk to you later. Take care.